know. I don't know why. It happens every time. But, well, not every time. It's like this very intermittent issue where like I'll start OBS up and my microphone input will be quote unquote default. And I've set my Windows default input and output, but for whatever reason, the Yeti mic is never the default. So, there's always problems. But hello, happy Tuesday. Hello, Miso Head. Welcome in. I hope you're having a good day today. I hope you had a happy Tuesday. Today we are going to do some great Ace Attorney. I hope everyone has had a good week so far. I know I'm super looking forward to tomorrow because then I can like show off all the macarons I baked and my coworkers will be like, "Oh, princess, it tastes so good. What's your recipe?" Or even better, "Oh, princess, can you make me some macarons for my event?" And then I'll be like, "Bitch, no, unless you pay me." But honestly, those things are fucking hard to make, so I would make it for money. I'm doing well, and I hope you are too. Yes, I am doing fantastic. Still waiting for the medical device company to like approve my device, the CPAP machine. I don't know. I caught up with one of my coworkers that I like talk to often, and she was like, "Oh yeah, CPAP. I got my machine last year." And I was like, "Can you like go through how long it took you for everything to come in? Because like honestly, I feel like my body is rebelling. Like my body had the one good night of sleep 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. No, at this point it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was like a Tuesday night, I think. 2 weeks ago, Tuesday night, today. And literally ever since that one night, and like I felt great the day after, but I think my body remembered how good that sleep was. And it was literally like this entire 2 weeks, I've been so exhausted because like my body is like, "No, we know what good sleep is like, so we're just gonna make you feel like shit until you can give us more oxygen." So that's what I'm having to deal with. But we did start a new Jump King map yesterday, so I was really happy about that. I mean, aside from that, oh, and then I was talking to another coworker, and I was like, you know, because I took my violin out that one night for everyone, and I was vaguely like, I kind of want to play violin again. Like, wouldn't that be nice? And so I was looking up a whole bunch of different like orchestras that are in like Orange County, and there's like a couple. There's like Orange County Philharmonic, there's like some like symphony groups and like chamber music groups. And then I was like, okay, like how open how open are these groups to like adults who are, I'm like not quite a beginner. I don't know how I would classify myself. Maybe intermediate? Because like I'm not quite a beginner like adult violinist, right? Like I've played violin for like 10-ish years when I did play violin. Hold on. From 5th grade to 12th grade, and then like after that I played very casually. So 5 to 12 is 7 years, and then yeah, so like about 10 years. Sorry, hit enter too soon on iPad. No worries. Hello, Action Production. But yeah, I played for like 10-ish years on and off. So I'm not like a beginner, right? But it's been also a long time since then. So I'm not sure if I'm like intermediate either. Like so I'm gonna send some emails out and see what groups are accepting like volunteers. Because here's what I don't want. I don't want to, one, waste their time. And I don't want to waste my time. You know, we are adults and we are busy. I have streaming and I have a full-time job and I love doing my hobbies, but sometimes I do feel like, you know, I have too many, right? Isn't that right, Hermes? Mommy just has too many hobbies. Yeah. Yeah, look at you. Finally resuming back to Pokemon Scarlet. I hope you enjoy. I really liked the, well, I think I got Pokemon Violet, but I really liked the game, so I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, okay, so let's see. What am I looking for here? I am going to start the game. I got the double pack of Scarlet and Violet. Wait, how come? Because isn't it like the same game except for some of the Pokemon? Like, why would you buy two? Because isn't the base game like a very, very similar story? I mean, they're not exactly the same. I recognize that. If I want it, I want it. Gotcha. I mean, if you want it, that's fine too. I guess it's like also like a collector's thing, maybe? Anyways, okay, so we are going to go over to this menu. And let's start the game. Yes, Hermes, that is mommy on the screen. I know. Objection. Yes, I am much more awake today. Marginally. So we'll see how long I can go tonight. Again, ever since 2 weeks ago, I have been so exhausted. Freaking need that CPAP machine, like, so bad. Finishing my last day of cooking class, and it was good. Oh! Congrats! I'm glad that you've enjoyed your cooking class so far and that you're done. Miso says, I'm sorry about the medical device company being so slow. Do you think the body heals or something with CPAP and the lack of sleep feels worse? Yeah, I honestly, I definitely feel it. Although it's interesting that it happened to you after one night. I think it's just that like I've been suffering chronically from fatigue and just in general fatigue for so long. Like honestly, I can't remember the last time that I slept so well, except for the night of the sleep study. And even then, I think I only got like 6 hours of sleep. When they woke me up to put the CPAP on, I only slept 6 hours on the CPAP. And so I do think you're right, like my body, that one night with CPAP, it like recognized that that was like, that's normal, right? Like that was a baseline normal. And so after I didn't have it, like I think it's built up again. Like, I don't know if it's like a sleep debt, but it's definitely something that's happening to my body where it knows that I'm not getting enough oxygen, I'm not sleeping well. And it's just my eyes. Like the biggest thing these past 2 weeks has been like, one, my eyes have been really, really itchy. But like not in like an allergic way. It like, it's just sore and like heavy. And I've just been more tired because my body wants to nap a lot more. So my friend / coworker said it took her 2 weeks to get like all the approvals. And then it took another 2 weeks for all the parts of her CPAP to come in. So I'm hoping that that gets approved quickly. And then I'm hoping that whatever device the medical company approves is like in stock, because apparently last year in 2022 there was like a lot of things that there were like shortages of. Like even my company in like the manufacturing industry, we had some shortages too, and so we couldn't serve our like customers and clients. So like I totally get it. Anyways, it's so funny because I was rewatching the bit where I was like kind of falling asleep, and I was like, wow, I like totally did not read that correctly. Top of that, basically all the Philips brand machines got recalled. Wait, really? What was the reason for the recall? Do you know? Because you have a CPAP machine, right, Miso Head? I think you mentioned it. Or maybe it was Martine. Someone mentioned that they had a CPAP machine. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half an hour, it half an hour, okay. Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. That doesn't take into account the fact that, like, you can time it so that you are in and out of the store in less than 30 minutes. I do? Oh my gosh, yes. So you get it, right? Because I was talking to my coworker and she was like, no, yeah, I never sleep anywhere without my CPAP now. And she was hanging out at her friend's place and like sleeping over. And she was like, yeah, I brought my CPAP to sleep over. So I think like it's gonna be life-changing for me. Apple, hello, welcome in. Princess, te quiero. Hello, Apple, I love you too. How's the night, yes, thinker? The night is going well. Just hanging out with Action Production and Miso Head in chat, but I'm sure there are others here, which I appreciate. Did you get the CPAP yet? No, I'm talking about how I'm so tired because I haven't gotten the CPAP yet. How have you been, Apple? How was your day? Miso had said, oh, Philips put some kind of potentially toxic foam. Didn't they do like testing? Did it like, maybe there were components that weren't toxic, but like together became toxic? No, but like they're like pharmacy techs, right? Like they should, if they're developing something that has like some kind of drug interaction, wouldn't you think like, what are pharmacy techs called? Pharmacy? No, like someone who like studies pharmaceuticals? Wouldn't someone, I made 5 pots today. I'll send you one. 5 pots? What kind of pots? What do you mean? Like in real life? Pottery. Oh, like, wait, what kind of pots? I might be interested. Can you like, cause I haven't put this in my about yet. I was gonna ask Ever if it was all right, cause Ever and I, Evercell, my friend, Ever and I are going to share a P.O. box. Starting from this year, I'm paying her a portion so that we can split a P.O. box, so people can mail me stuff. And you know, a small pot sounds really cute. And then I was also gonna put my business email for, I don't know, if someone wanted to reach out to me for some reason to do sponsorships. Nexile, I'm talking to you. Nexile, are you listening? Jump King sponsorship? Guys, if I just say it enough, I swear to God, one of these days, Nexile will listen and they'll sponsor me. This is just wishful thinking. But you know, it's like I was listening to these podcasters, what was it? Like, and that's why we drink. It's like a podcast for true crime and paranormal stories. And there's like these 2 friends and they each have like 1 story per episode. So it's like 2 stories total. 1 is paranormal and 1 is true crime. And I think when they first started out, they didn't have any sponsorships, right? Because you're still new to the podcasting world, and they kept like mimicking the HelloFresh sponsorships. And they eventually like legitimately got sponsored by HelloFresh. So I was like, that's cool. Can I will a sponsorship into existence? I think the story in Scarlet and Violet is the best part, which is why I can consider it my favorite Pokemon game. That's good. I'm glad that you're enjoying it so far. I did enjoy the story when I was playing it. It was quite fun. You remind me of Markiplier. Wait, why Markiplier? Did he will a sponsorship into existence? Been offered by HelloFresh before. I've seen those Stream Element sponsorships, but I'm really like hesitant on those because I've seen on Twitter people saying, first of all, you need to stream for like a set amount of time, you know, separate apart from what's the normal like sponsorship stream. And then second, only people who signed up after your sponsorship period is eligible to, you know, count towards your payout, which like, I mean, if people use your link, they should be able to process it against your, you know, sponsorship, but they don't do that. So it's all very like suspicious. If I'm interested in story, do you think it's worth getting despite the performance issues? Misohead, I do think that the story of Scarlet Violet is quite touching, and it's like my first Pokemon ever since Pokemon Crystal. I haven't played Pokemon since then because something happened and then I was like very not interested in the franchise. But when Violet came out, I did purchase it and it's very good. Despite the performance issues, I was able to enjoy the story and enjoy the game quite well. There was nothing really that like hindered me from enjoying it. Mark is known for asking for sponsors like Sour Patch Kids. Did he get sponsored by them? You want to get it? I'm a casual Pokemon fan who only got interested as an adult. I wasn't allowed as a kid, and I think Moon is the only one I've played through, but I liked it. Love the lore of Pokemon and stuff. Yeah, I definitely, for me, because I haven't really played that many Pokemon games. I've played Red and Blue. I've played Gold and Silver and Crystal. And then something happened to my Crystal save file, and then from then on I never played again until Violet. So I can say for certain that a lot of things have changed since Crystal. I was very surprised. But it was quite enjoyable too. The story was very touching. Honestly, for me, if I played it as a kid, I think it would have been even more impactful. But I mean, I kind of have the mindset of a kid anyway, so same difference. No, he never got the Sour Patch sponsorship. Sad. The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. Oh, nice. I swear to God, that dog picture is so hilarious. It cracks me up every time. I never want to lose my inner child either. Good, you shouldn't, because that's what keeps us young, is, you know, a thirst for knowledge and, you know, wanting to do better, learn about things. Because I feel like I don't know about you, but I feel like some adults, quote unquote adults, or like colleagues, I guess, that I work with, they just seem very like set in their way. And a lot of times, because I work in basically technology improvements, and you definitely see a difference in the younger generation and in the older generation. Whereas the younger generation is much more open to change, the older generation is very like stuck in their ways. They've done something one way their whole life or their whole career, and they now refuse to do it a different way because they're like, well, it works, my way works, I don't care if it takes longer, I don't care if it's less efficient, this is how I know how to do it. And so then like the young people have to like, you know, pick up the slack. I don't know if it's the same for, you know, where you work or your experiences with someone who's older, but I just hope, and it's not like all old people, right? Like, because I definitely have some coworkers who are like super into like these new technology improvements, and they're huge supporters and huge like drivers of these projects, but just a trend that I see. And it makes, you know, like, I hope I never become an adult that, like, is ever afraid of change. Because as a kid, everything is always changing and everything always seems so new and exciting. I want to keep that mindset with me as I grow older. I can find some balance between new and old. Might be their openness in general, which is one of the personality traits that's kind of scientifically validated and useful. Yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure. As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in a quite desultory. What kind of word is that? Desultory fashion. Rather prodigal, I feel. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. If I may refer the court to the plan of the premises, their respective positions are here and here. Oh cool, at the front door. Are they like staggered so we have like 15-minute increments actually? Because that might be nice. Sorry to talk, the chat is all me. Oh my god, Miso Head, don't even worry. I don't mind if it's one person in chat, because a lot of people just come in to chill, come in for the vibes, and they don't want to talk. But it's always nice to have, you know, a conversation going. Don't ever feel embarrassed if you're the only one here. I don't mind at all. You say these cameras produce a print every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if the here we go. Anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera. Wait, who's this one again? Is this the taller one? That's a bit of friar tuck, eh, bruv? Oh, okay. Lady Luck loves a skulking. Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin? Must have been just after 1, right, bruv? Must have been, Nash, must have been. Yeah, just gone 1. In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. That's a really smart idea about staggering the cameras. You would think, right? Because then you would catch like more in the hour. Oh, ooh. That's not good. I'm so distracted by this dog photo. Every time I see it on this desk, I'm so distracted by it. Good lord, it's the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. As the court can clearly see, the accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom. Quite, one can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel. Oh my god, Misohead, I've pointed that photo out like literally every time this scene comes into this like on screen because everyone knows this about me, that I love dogs, and for me, the first thing I notice about a scene is probably something related to dogs. Yeah? Hermes. Stop it. Don't chew on yourself. Sorry. My dog was chewing on his paw. I don't let him do that, because last time he did it, he like bit all the way into his skin, so it was bleeding for like a day, and I was like, you're crazy, dog. Don't do that. You're crazy. I know, my poor baby dog. I love him so much, but he's stupid, so I need to watch him. I don't believe it, Ginny. Does he have anxiety issues or is he just silly? He's just silly. It's probably just itchy too. I don't think he has anxiety. He doesn't really present with any other anxious behavior. And I mean, every vet checkup he's been good, so I'm not sure. But yeah, he's a good boy. In short, do you have a pet? A dog? A cat? A rabbit? A bird? Rats? Hamsters? Flying squirrels? The accused is the only person who could possibly have killed Mr. Windibank. Ha! I say, my lord. What voice is that? Oh, okay. Wonder if I might put in a word at this point? Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Took a bally bullet to the knee in the Battle of Maiwand, 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but forced to retire from service. Sadly. Course, a medal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carried on the battle after retirement, you see, the battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am now leading this small squadron. 6 men, all good and true. And we'll all go down together, you mark my words, one for all and all for one. Hey, it's more wine. Oh, I just noticed his wine label has like a hooded figure and like 2 sights, like the Reaper. Why is that like this is the first time I've noticed that in all the playthroughs. That's really funny. He loves his wine, he sure does. That is definitely a Reaper. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand? How did I not notice that either? I know, right? Because usually he's like throwing it, or like he's doing something with the cup, so it's like a huge distraction, but he just like set it down. Is that what we are to understand? Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a manner of speaking, yes, that is the Garadeb Squadron's position, sir. What? No, it's too soon to make a judgment here. Status report for the court, men, on the double. His lordship insists on promptitude at all times, and that goes for making decisions, too. I think you'll find the truth is as clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it. I wouldn't have left it in there. I just wouldn't. But, in all honesty, I can't actually remember. Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop. I am very sorry, brothers. They are unlucky. I kind of have cats because I'm in a long-distance relationship and my partner has cats and she also feels like they're my cats too. Oh, that's so cute. I love that. I love animals but feel like I can't care for any right now since I can barely care for myself. You know, I definitely feel that at times. I do know that some people have improved their mental health from animals, but I think it's mainly because an animal relies on you to take care of it. And for some people, having that purpose in life is very motivating to like get out and do stuff because like they're like, well, I won't take care of myself, but I will take care of this animal that depends on me and loves me. So I know that for some people it does help rather than hinder. But you know, you're your best, judge. So if you make the call that you don't think you're able to, perfectly valid. And yay for mentioning rats. I love rats. I don't think I could have them because of how they only live like 2 years, but I love them. I used to keep hamsters when I was younger. which is why I always mention like the small rodents that can be kept as pets. And I have a couple friends that keep rats as well. Like they're very, very smart, very affectionate. But yes, absolutely devastating that they live so short. That's a good point. I think I see that with my partner, especially since she started volunteering at the cat rescue our cats came from. Oh, they're like tiny dogs. Oh, are they very affectionate? Needy and affectionate. I love that. Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning in this matter. Announce your considered verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
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 Uh-oh. But wait, we need some time. I'm glad to hear that your partner's cats are so affectionate. The doctor! It does indeed appear that the jury... I forget if you saw that yet. I may have missed the stream. I only saw, I might have missed it, because... Oh, rats are like tiny dogs. Oh, not the cats? Oh, gotcha. No, yeah, rats are like tiny dogs, truly. I might have missed it, because I think last stream you said, like, oh, watch the doctor, but I didn't see anything different. Was there something I was supposed to catch about the doctor when he said guilty? Now what? Well, we just have to wait, because I'm sure we will interrupt and be like, no, we have a right to hear from each jury. What? I did not see that. Okay, I have to pay attention. Was it when they zoomed out? Because I think I didn't... Oh, to keep his hands clean. Okay. I'll pay more attention when we zoom out. I think that'll be funny. Okay, perfect. It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already. That photograph. It must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned. But Ginny didn't shoot him. No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination. Here we go. Very well, the court grants permission. So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising. We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready? Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocketian. As a housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated.
I think you'll find that if you look at that photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out.
If I have left it in there, I think there'll be repercussions by now. Old man, I'm sorry, who did you operate on? Please don't tell me it was Sholmes. Please be anyone other than Sholmes. Why are you still thinking about an operation and if something was left in the patient? Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission of verdict to follow. Stop. In Motherland, we say never judge by clothes, judge by head. I am convinced brothers are innocent. I don't know which statements contradict each other. Wait, so hold on. Let's take a moment real quick to go through the evidence. The mouse is quite funny. Okay, so we do have this, which has the picture of the cat and then date deposited, the small box the day before, GINA's papers, blood samples, unknown, purple thrice fired mason, one gentleman's overcoat. Okay, so this was the other one on the 15th of February. So like 2 days after the box. Okay. Then we have the actual, this one, Mason's blood. Okay, so that's that one. Iris's manuscript, the case notes. Okay. Today's paper has pawnbroker, and then also, what was it? Contains an article about government secrets being leaked to foreign agencies. Okay. Autopsy report. Reporting party was Naruhodo. Single bullet wound, no other visible signs of trauma, instant death. Entered the body from the back on a gently rising diagonal trajectory. So, wait, pause. Didn't they say in the freaking thing that he was shot from the front, angled up, and that's why they said he was shot by someone who was short? But this proves that he was shot by a taller person. Or no, maybe that was one of my theories. Maybe he was crouched down. So, I mean, okay, well, okay, that's fine. Pop Windibank. Okay, so that was where he was shot. The storeroom. Windibank's gun. Skulkin Brothers' gun. Both only have a single sign of discharge, so they could not have been used twice. This is the murder at 1, or well, GINA was here at 1 a.m. Okay. Rising does mean it was from a lower position, going from lower to higher. Gotcha. Okay, but from the back? Entered the body from the back on a gently rising diagonal trajectory. That doesn't make sense. From the back, so she like, so it was angled up from the back? Oh, and then I explained it could just be a really tall person shooting him from the front down. There might be. I feel like this is important later. I'm gonna keep that in my brain. Okay. The circumstance of the crime and the evidence do indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively. The storeroom locked from the inside, in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone. And in the accused's hand, the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses. Not to mention this print! Definitely a logic flaw with the person was short. Take it from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the bally trigger. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes. Oh dear. Hurley's cameras were supposed to help, not hinder. I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you. But GINA didn't shoot Mr. Windibank. Which means there's more to the situation that we've yet to see. Agreed. You have the floor, counsel. Proceed with the summation examination. All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocketian. Press. You're Mr. Natsume's landlord, Mr. Garadeb, aren't you? We really must stop meeting like this. Ah, you're that lawyer chap. Well, there's a turn up for the books. Yes, rather a turbulent time we had back then. Some random. Yeah, I think the comment was like 6 million people living in Great Britain, and yet these are the people that are on the jury. Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did rather a lot for you, didn't we? I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be suggesting that, therefore you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything. Oh my god, Taster! Hello, how are you? Welcome in. I'm doing good. Are you done with your finals? Have you finished? Welcome in. How's your week been? Also, are you going to Auntie, I'm not gonna say her name, but Auntie's wedding next week? Will I see you there? The other Auntie's wedding? Because I'm gonna be in town from Wednesday, but I'm staying with your auntie that's getting married. So I don't know how far away that is. I think it's like maybe 2 hours away from our hometown. Now I have 3 weeks of school left. I'm going to Auntie T's wedding. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna meet you guys. I can't wait. Let's get our picture taken together because I miss you. 3 weeks of school. Wow. That's I mean, that's gonna go by fast. So I hope you have a good rest of the 3 weeks. Oh, does that mean you're gonna go? Are you gonna go to the convention back home? Because I know your cousins still go. I don't know if you go though. Are you doing like Artist Alley? Sorry, I'm asking all these questions. I'm like, catch me up with your life, please. Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Garadib house was the talk of the town after that business. Lodgers moved out and I couldn't get a bally soul to take up the tenancies. Man, I wish. I don't have money right now, so I'll have to skip this year. No worries. At least we'll hang out. Let's hang out at the wedding. I don't know, like, what I'll have to do as a bridesmaid, but I'm sure we'll have time to, like, hang out with each other, say hello, maybe dance a little bit, you know, do all the wedding things. Oh, I haven't had the heart to break the news to Joni yet. Bad enough that the old girl's clapped up. What does clapped up mean? Is she sick? Yes, can't be denied. You did do rather a lot, but not for us. That's for dashed certain. I suppose not. Course. There can be no suggestion of that being the reason I'm leaning towards guilty here. Obviously. Obviously, but honestly, I really wish he'd pay more attention to the trial and less to juror number 2. As a housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated.
Hold it!
Alright, let's see what you're talking about. Polishing the bench, I see. Again. A maid's work is never done. Not a blemish must remain. What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores? On my way to market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pick purses, and crossmen, the scum of the earth. A little harsh, perhaps. Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span, or eradicated. At least we have people like the great detective working to achieve those important goals. You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes? That's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Branched magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital. Mr. Sholmes, a maid? It's really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum having the audacity to shoot our very greatest detective. Minor detail, it was the two brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant. Holly, I just saw the trailer for the final part of the DLC for Xenoblade 3. Oh, well, I hope it's exciting. Just got back to Pokemon Scarlet too. Wish I didn't post game of the Xenoblade 3 so soon. I'm sure you'll find time to balance it, Action. If you want to, you will. No worries. A minor detail, indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned. Well, it just might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway. Yes. All right. I shall amend my statement. Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for shooting the great detective. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we actually got her to change her entire statement. What was it before? That, GINA deserves to, I don't even remember.
I think you'll find that if you look at the photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out.
What do you mean, look at the photograph in stereo?
Sorry? What? Don't you know? If you look at the photographic print normally,
Oh, wait, is there a second picture?
it looks as though the pickpocket girl is about to shoot the victim, obviously.
But there's no indication that the defendant ever fired the gun.
All I'm saying is that if you look at the same print in stereo, it could reveal all sorts of new information.
By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes?
Ooh, how did you know?
Let's call it a lucky guess.
It never gets old seeing the two prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary, it's captivating, it's the height of modernity.
Of course.
Oh yes, I think you'll find that the stereoscope is here to stay, giving us new perspective we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen.
If only it could give me a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you.
If I have left it in there, I think there'll be repercussions by now.
What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? You keep talking about having left something somewhere, or something like that.
So sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon.
A surgeon? That totally passed me by.
Of course, people conducting surgery in this country aren't considered to be doctors. Oh no.
Wait, they're not? Are surgeons considered something different?
Even though me and my kind are at the forefront of medical science, the real brains in the field.
So, what is it that you think you've left behind?
Well, that's a little embarrassing, to be honest.
Dude, you appeared like 2 cases ago. He definitely did. It was either last case or 2 cases ago, I don't remember.
You see, I was operating on someone yesterday. Standard thing. Went in through the abdomen. But when I'd finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere.
What? Did he?
Surely not. Exactly! Surely not, you say to yourself, don't you? Worrying, isn't it? That's what's been troubling me this whole time. Could I really have left my scalpel inside the fellow's belly? No, of course I couldn't. So, there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing, really.
I think at this point in history, surgeons were considered doctors, but at some point it's true they weren't. Wow! I think that's crazy to consider that people who were surgeons weren't considered doctors when they, like, literally cut people up. Were they more akin to, like, butchers then? Did, like, people see them as butchers versus doctors? Because I guess, like, back then, there really wasn't a way to cut someone, like, take something out and, like, sew it back up. Because it was like, if you were cutting it, you were, like, cutting it off, maybe. I mean, I feel like that logic tracks, because, like, back then, they didn't have great healthcare. And so, and they didn't understand, like, germs and germ theory. So if they were going to if they were going to do anything to a limb, it wasn't to, like, treat it. It was probably to amputate it, right? I think the roots of it are in how dangerous surgery was. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter.
That's exactly my concern. And seeing as this case appears to be all but sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've sewn up elsewhere. Now I'm sure I made everything was back as it should be, well, as sure as you can be without being sure.
I'm sure you need to be more sure. This is why doctors have checklists, okay? This is why when you're in surgery, they definitely keep checklists in the operating room so that everything is accounted for when they sew you back up. Like, I'm laughing, but, like, no lie, it truly is why they have checklists for all the equipment that's in the operating room. Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission of verdict to follow. Stop. Yeah, and they do counts of all the different things. Yes, absolutely. I'm so glad that you and I are vibing on... I love random facts, so the fact that you do, like, know stuff and you're, like, looking stuff up, I super appreciate it, by the way, Misohead. I don't know if I, like, conveyed that to you, but I think it's very, very... interesting to learn all these things, because then I'll be like, yeah, I just know facts, and people are like, Princess, how did you know that? And I'm like, I just somehow absorbed it through osmosis. Like, we used 10 sponges. Here are 10 sponges now. We didn't leave any in the patient. Yeah, because, like, if they leave anything, it is a vector for bacteria to, you know, grow, and it could make the patient septic. Oh, thanks. I'm so glad you love it too. Of course, yeah. We're, like, vibing. Oh, wait, no, I need to go back. I need to press this statement.
Hold it!
Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean? Are you from the Far East? Stop. Yes, from the Empire of Japan. All communication with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey.
Ah, but now we have the electric telegram, so we can send messages using electrical signals. Thousands of miles of cables have been laid along the ocean beds, connecting the entire world.
Thousands of miles of cable? On the ocean bed? It makes my head hurt just thinking about it. The original Hippocratic Oath actually has doctors swear to not do surgery, if I recall. Wait, really? Did they, like... Because I know the main part of the Hippocratic Oath is that you swear to do no harm to your patient. But I don't know, like, the actual content. Did they, like, update the Hippocratic Oath to include something about surgery? After getting bullshit from the air battle with the gym, I am now grinding for a bit. Luckily, one of the flying Pokemon evolved. I think, like, if you grind, the game is like cake. Cause just so you know, Misohead, when I played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, this is not a spoiler, And also, action, let's keep talking about the game to a minimum because I think Misohead is interested. But when I played Pokemon, I literally played an all-dog team. So I think my Pokemon was, my team was Arcanine, and then like 5 Fidos. So that's, and then I beat the game with that team. So Princess, hello Chrono, welcome in. How are you? What time is it right now? Is it like lunchtime over there? Hope you're having a good lunchtime, by the way. You are well informed, young lady. But cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop. And just when I was starting to catch up. Radio transmission is the future. Stop. Messages carried over airwaves to 4 corners of globe. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmosphere electric. Stop. Right. Try not to wear out your fingers. Era of wireless telegraphy. Telegraphy. Stop. How do you say that word? Telegraphy. Nope, telegraphy. Yeah, I think it's telegraphy. Driving technological revolution! Stop! And people say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. What utter piffle. Oh, 11. Perfect, yes. I know I'm good at my time zone conversions. I'll send pics of lunch later, but I'm stuck in a rainstorm. I forgot umbrella. Oh no. So are you like stuck at the restaurant or are you like stuck at home? I meant to say AI battle with the gym leader, but luckily one of my Pokemon evolved. Gotcha, yeah. I can't understand it. I really can't. They're just silly toys. Oh, wait. Why is someone... Oh, stereoscope. Pursue. Let's pursue this.
Excuse me.
Juror number 3. Sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but...
What?
Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remarks? As if I couldn't guess.
Oh, you bet I do! Say that again! Go on, I dare you!
Goodness, are you talking to me? I think he just might be, yes.
You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you? Huh?
Absolutely. I mean, really? A machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions? Why on earth would you just not use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. Lady, I have something to tell you about the invention of pictures and of cameras and video. Believe most doctors swear an amended one now. The original starts with, I swear by Apollo, the physician, and Asclepius, and Hygeia, and Panacea, and all the gods and goddesses. So yeah! Oh, I see. Okay. Ayo, VR? No. It's the stereoscope. Jin, hello! Welcome in. How are you? What are you up to? Also, guys, if you haven't already, please check out our awesome friend, Jin Zoka, who is the cutest robot VTuber here on Twitch. You heard it here first. She's been playing Wrestle Angels. I've been like peeking in, but it's a very like old Japanese game, I think, very retro. So if that's your jam, you should definitely check it out. Thank you for giving Jin the regular channel shout out as well, Chrono. I appreciate that. What a great way to appease the man. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all.
You just don't know!
Pardon?
I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate.
What sort of possibilities?
Well, take a crime scene, for example.
Mobile Twitch doesn't autofill names. Oh no, that sucks. I'm sorry. That's terrible. Also, the pre-roll ads just hit on again, so I will have to turn ads on for about 3 minutes. So I'm so sorry if you get hit with the wall of ads. Let me know if you do. I can pause the game for a bit. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna go grab dinner. I think this is a great time to pause for dinner. Let's also save this. I'll run the ad, and then when the ad comes back, I will be back to the game. It'll be real fast, but before that, here's the surgery part. I will not use the knife, not even verily, on sufferers from stone, kidney stones, but I will give place to such as are craftsmen therein. So I guess it does respect the surgeons and recognizes that they have different skills. Oh. Is that the old one? Because, I mean, doctors now don't say that part, right? Because they're also, we consider doctors to be surgeons. The original. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Thank you for that. That's really cool. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna run an ad, and while I'm gone, I will also be eating dinner. So you'll see the BRB screen, but it'll be, you know, I'm gonna eat as fast as possible, and then we will be right back. See you soon. All right, I am back. I did look up the Hippocratic Oath while I was eating and shoveling food in my mouth. I think I got an idea starting tomorrow after I get past the gym battle. Switch to Xenoblade 3. You know, Action, you do what you want to. It's your life, it's your game. I should note that surgeons and doctors are different. Was a European perspective, maybe even primarily a British one. Oh yeah. Definitely when we talk about these things, I think it's very much like this is a very Western ideal. And for the longest time, like the West equated to either the Holy Roman Empire or like Europe. By the 19th century, barber surgeons had virtually disappeared, and surgeons were almost invariably qualified doctors who had specialized in surgery. So by now, this juror should just be a doctor. Gotcha. Okay. So, I mean, maybe 19th century. So maybe it was still gaining acceptance, because he said that, like, they didn't quite rank him equal to, like, current day doctors of his time. So perhaps they were still in a transition period, but very interesting. Plus he's old. Yes, yeah, very true. Very interesting that the classic Hippocratic Oath has, where was it? Moreover, I will give no sort of medicine to any pregnant woman with a view to destroy the child. Like, the fact that they called it out in the classic oath versus, like, in the revised one, you don't see anything about that. I quite like the revised Hippocratic Oath. The one I read was the one that was written by Dr. Louis Lasagna in 1964. He, at the very end, it was just that, what was it? Like, oh, it's like the end. Is it near the end? Hold on, where is it? Because I was just like reading this and I'm like, I feel like a lot of doctors could do well to remember the Hippocratic Oath that they took when they graduated. Hello, Bishop, how are you? Yes, all is well. We were just talking about the Hippocratic Oath because one of the jurors on this case is a doctor. Wasn't expecting to stream last night, but I hope it went smooth for you. Yes, it did. There were no interruptions. My internet has been quite stable, so I'm not gonna, jinx it. Have you listened to Sawbones Medical History podcast? I think you would love it. I have not heard of that, but I will write that down because I do love podcasts. The current one I'm listening to right now that I just started is the Omnibus with Ken Jennings and John... Gosh, what was his name? Hello, Tropical. How are you? Sawbones. I don't remember John's last name. But they talk about a lot of, like, obscure, like, esoteric knowledge is what they call it. And I learn a lot of random things in that podcast. Thank you for the boop and all the toy bones, Tropical. How are you doing today? The abortion part of the original oath is also I think it's because maybe back then, like having a healthy baby was like maybe the prime concern. Because babies either lived or they died, and it was like there was no saving them. They were either born healthy or they were born and died. And I think like the first 2 years of a child's life back then was like the most critical, because once they lived past that point, like they were quite healthy and they lived for a while. But like the fact that so many babies died young was why people say, oh yeah, they only lived till they were 30. Untrue. People who lived past like, the cutoff age for when it was dangerous actually lived into old age. It's just that, because they died young, it would bring the average age down. 5. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I wonder if also had some good intentions regarding danger. I don't think the abortion methods at the time were very reliable. True. No, yeah. Okay, what was the part of the Hippocratic Oath, like the revised one, that I liked? Where was it at the beginning? Apply, avoid twin trap. Oh, it was this. It was at the beginning. Yeah, it was the I will apply for the benefit of the sick all measures that are required, avoiding those twin traps of overtreatment and therapeutic nihilism. I will remember that there is art to medicine as well as science, and that warmth, sympathy, and understanding may outweigh the surgeon's knife or the chemist's drug. Which I think is really important that like doctors remember, like you're treating a person and it's not just like a list of symptoms. Like sometimes it's not, you know, cutting someone up or drugging someone up that will solve their problem. Like it's a very like holistic view, I think, of medicine. Averages are bad in that context, right? It's quite nice. Yeah. Anyways, okay, sorry, let's continue. Hold on, I need to clear my nose real fast. All right, let's go back out.
If you had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, it could reveal hidden clues you'd never even noticed before.
What? Wait, don't tell me the cameras were set at the same time then, because that would mean we do have a stereoscopic print of this moment. Have you got any, Runo? Oh,
have you got any, Runo? Any prints we could look at with a stereoscope?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. It should do the trick, I think. Well, because we have this, and the proof of the stereoscope is the fact that... Wait, where's the stereoscope location? Where was the image with the location? Did we not get it? Wait, hold on, let's just...
Take that!
Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints?
Of course I can.
How is Hermes? Hermes is doing good. He is not here right now. He's probably chilling downstairs where it's a little bit cooler. It's kind of getting hot upstairs. Very well then, I'd like you to demonstrate.
I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all.
Did I give him the wrong thing? Uh-oh. We don't have the second photograph, so we can't give it to him, huh? Martine, hello! Welcome in, how are you? Thank you for the box. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. Wait, so... we have 2 prints. It's this one and this one, which is the cat, but I want one of the crime scene, right? Don't forget to boop his snoot and kiss it from me. Of course, when I see him, I will boop his snoot just for you, Tropical. Okay, so I guess I can't... I don't have the necessary info yet. Wait, sorry? What do you mean? One more print?
Oh dear, don't you have these in the Far East? Don't you know how a stereoscope works?
Runo! What?
You need 2 photographs for a stereoscope, remember? You know, one for the left eye and one for the right.
Oh yes, I remember now. But the print we have from the pawnbrokery is just a normal photograph.
No. I think you'll find that the clue is in the name. It's a stereoscope, not a monoscope. You always need 2 prints.
Time, hello! Cowabunga, welcome in. How are you? Beating my head against P8S to see which one is harder. I cleared already, but no loot from it. Well, good luck tonight to clear again and get more loot. Are you doing it with Doink? Why aren't they distributing the loot fairly? Let's have a conversation about fairly distributing loot. Thanks for the friendly explanation.
Well, if we obtain another print at some point later in the trial, we can always show it to this young man then.
I think you'll find that know-it-all expression is really starting to annoy me. Nah, my normal static. Gotcha. Let's have a conversation with them, Martine. Want to talk about why they aren't distributing loot to you. How many weeks has it been? If it's only week 2, I understand. But if it's past week 4, you should have gotten something already. Finally got through the AI nightmare. Well, glad that you were able to get through it, and now you can play Xenoblade. Cowabunga, time is awesome. I'm so glad to hear time. I hope you enjoy tonight's stream of some great Ace Attorney. I can only do the unfocused eyes method, not the cross eyes method, so it kind of works, but it doesn't look quite right. Al or AI? I have no idea. Hello, Cloudy. Welcome in. How are you? I hope you're having a good day so far.
Let's get things back on track, shall we, Council?
Did you see? Oh yes, you were there yesterday. You saw me start Babe of Memories. Very exciting.
All we'd need is another shot from a slightly different location, and we could see the scene in 3 dimensions.
Okay, so we do need that second photo, and then we could see it. Okay, so it was the lady with the radio transmission that prompted him to speak up. So now we just have to press this guy.
Hold it!
It's Katie, BTW. Love her, but the AI went overpowered during my matches. They used Fury Swipe 5 times. I didn't have that hard of a time, I think, playing the Violet, because I think I overleveled my Pokemon. I was just battling them as much as I could to level up my Pokemon, just because like using an all-dog team gave me a disadvantage, so I just brute forced it. Please tell me you're not Vilen Bolshevik, the Russian revolutionary. Revolutionary? All doggo team, that's awesome. Yes, I had 1 Arcanine and 5 Fidos. 2 Fidos I evolved into, I don't remember the evolution name, but 2 of them I evolved. The rest I kept as Fidos. It was a very cute team. I like super enjoyed it. I believe there is such a rumor. It's just a rumor? Thank you for the hydrate, Gunny. Hello, welcome in. And the stretch. And the posture check. Wow, Gunny is just super taking care of me today. Thank you, Gunny. Guys, make sure you are getting up, stretching. Don't shrimp in your chair. Sit up straight. Streamer health check. Thank you, Gunny. Hello, Avendior. I'm good. How are you? Hello, hello. Well, Show says, first you thought you'd be okay and basically spent every battle using multiple revives and potions, and then you overlevel. I figured out my strategy eventually. Hello, Show. Welcome in. I hope you're having a good evening tonight. Avendior says, I am okay. Fantastic. I'm glad you're doing good. Welcome in tonight. We are playing more Great Ace Attorney, you guys. We're chilling. You know, as you can see, this is not Vilen Bolshevik, the revolutionary Russian criminal. Or so he says.
As you see, I have unfortunate appearance. I look like a vicious criminal.
Your words, not mine. I just want to point that out. How's it going here? It's going good, Gunny. It's been a pretty good night. I don't feel tired yet, which is good. I could keep going for a while. So we're gonna power through this case to see what happens next. Also, we're on the same wavelength with the blood clot thing. I remember you warned us against that last stream. More streamers need to encourage us to avoid leg clots. It's my sign-off, Miso Head, so, you will get a reminder every time you come into stream, because, you know, I want you guys to take care. It's also because, like, for me, this past year, I've had to travel a lot for work, and every time I open up the pamphlet on the flight, it's like, be careful of deep vein thrombosis. And so I'm like, yeah, let's not have that happen. So, what saved me from getting furious for the third time was thanks to Tika Tink. Well, either her or finally got lucky. Gotcha, I see. Yes, he's totally not vicious criminal. I don't know how to do a Russian accent, sorry. I don't want to insult anyone. Thank you for the toy bone time. I appreciate it.
People call me revolutionary, murderer, autocrat, and which glove fits? Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take a bus to Crystal Tower, please. Right, that didn't sound staged at all. You'll forgive me for having my doubts. To be treated like a vicious criminal all the time, it is very painful. People do not realize. So I have much sympathies for these brothers. People say they are criminals only because of how they look.
The Skulkin brothers? That's cool that it's your sign-off. I didn't realize that because I think I was only here for one stream ending so far. Yes, you'll hear it again tonight. That's just Princess being extra. Leg clots are rarely life-threatening, serious, but less likely to die from them versus any other type of clots. I mean, just an embolism in general then, you know? Because an embolism in your brain, like, if you don't get that treated in 30 minutes, you're gonna die. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, please don't cry. Don't die. Also don't cry, but don't die. Good night, Tropical. Let me tuck you into bed. Thank you so much for stopping by. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. So thoughtful of you to not want to do a bad accent. The only accent I can truly do is a Vietnamese English accent because my parents spoke that to me for all my life. And I'm Vietnamese, so, you know, for me it's not insulting because truly I am a Vietnamese American. But like, God, I would never try to fake an accent. Or like, never intentionally try to fake an accent because that can be quite insulting. A leg clot can break off and go to your lungs or brain. I think in your leg it isn't too bad, but it could travel. Yes! You know the other reason why I think about leg clots all the time is because when I watch House lost, or he didn't lose his leg, but he has pain in his leg and he uses a crutch because of an embolism that they couldn't pinpoint right away in the show. Don't cry, says the person most likely to cry here. Amelia Clark had 2 aneurysms. She healed, right? But it was after a lot of therapy, I think. But I did hear about that, I think. You do have to get that treated, like, pretty much immediately, though. Is she more prone to an aneurysm? Are people more prone to aneurysms than others, like, genetically? It killed a bunch of his leg muscles. Yes, that's what it was. See, I remember. It was a good show. Loved House. How did I write that so backwards? Maybe she was just very unlucky. But I did hear that she has since recovered, albeit I think she's still quite private about some aspects. I haven't really, like, I don't catch up with celebrity news, but I did hear about that around the grapevine. Good night, Tropical! Thanks for stopping by and drop in some facts. Good night. I will say hello and give a boop and kisses from Tropical to Hermes. Maybe they went inside pawnbroker's shop, but they have done nothing wrong. That is all I want to say. The Skulkin brothers did nothing wrong that night? Alright, well, first of all, that's one not-so-little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up straight away. Tell me something, Iris.
What is it, Runo?
Inaccuracies, but I would go and read a blog by an actual doctor. I think we saw the same doctor blog about house episodes, because I would do that too. I would watch the house episode and then I would go read the blog to see if they got it right or if they got it wrong. Oh my god, we're like the same person. Hello, Sev, how are you? Good evening, and hello, Sev's partner. Welcome in. Princess Doppelganger, yes, it's me. I'm Pyrus, that's me. The jurors are chosen at random from the inhabitants of London town, aren't they?
Yes, it's amazing, isn't it?
In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks for all the world like a revolutionary?
I wish I knew.
If I can't change the minds of more than half of these 6 jurors, the trial will be over.
But we know that Ginny would never shoot anyone.
Yes, so we need to find contradictions in what these jurors are saying and pit them against each other. I must be ready to go to whatever lengths I have to convince them of Gina's innocence. Tinka-Tink face is sad to watch. Isn't Tinka-Tink the really cute Pokemon though? I thought she was like very adorable. But she has a sad face? Oh, okay. Okay, so pickpocket, brothers are scum, they should swing. Okay, so it's definitely this statement, and the brothers are innocent. Yeah.
Objection.
Song is so good, it's one of my favorites. It is quite... All of the music in Great Ace Attorney so far have been really, really good. Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Good lord! Counsel, explain yourself! Oh, my statement. Contradictory. Contradict. C-O-N. Juror number 6, you've got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick. I have mouse. As juror number 2 said earlier, when the Skulkin brothers fled the scene on the night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver. This is a good song too. Is this new? I don't think I've heard it before. God, this makes me want to play violin. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna contact all of the orchestras in the area and see if they'll be willing to take an adult who's not quite a beginner, but maybe not quite intermediate either. We'll see. Yes, they shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen. I understand. Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear. You should. I forgot to comment on that because I was playing Splatoon and couldn't take much. Oh, no worries. I'm so glad you were listening. Yeah, so I do have a couple orchestras in mind to, you know, email. I want to do it. I didn't want to do it at work because I was like, you know, using my work laptop, which means it's connected to my work email. But I did want to come home and email from my personal so that I could get in contact with them. Abdomen. Abdomen. A, B, D. Sir? Sorry, my English is still learning. You are telling the court you didn't hear. The mouse just turns when he's like turning the pages. It's very adorable. Forgive me, I did not hear. Here is word. Abdomen. Part of person's body containing stomach and other vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English, I am Russian, not native speaker. We thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again. I just want to have a conversation, because you've chosen, like, the maid lady 3 times, the blonde lady twice, and I cannot believe you've involved someone who was involved in a manslaughter case on this new jury. Amazing. Who did this? I just want to... We should just talk. So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying. They said before, we never done nothing, but truth is they shot detective. Da. This is double negative. Yes, that's exactly right. That's awesome. The violin is such a lovely instrument. It has so much emotion. It definitely does. I need to practice again. Maybe I should buy a music stand. I think that maybe that's my first step. Buy a music stand so I can practice some of the old sheet music I have. And then see if I can, you know, maybe play new music. See if I still remember, I guess, how to play music, because it's been a long time since I've played, actually. I don't wanna know what I'm gonna sound like when I open my violin up for the first time again. Show says when they said the jury is selected at random, they truly meant it. Yeah, at least totally not revolutionary is new. The mouse! Lying is wrong, especially when lie is said by person who looks like criminal. Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced. This means, when they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also big fat lie. Is this true? Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so... Enough! I trust no one now. And the little squeak that it makes! Oh my god, be gentle to the mouse. I know, right? It's not the mouse's fault though, sir. I must see with own eyes. I must investigate crime scene myself. I'm afraid that won't be
Yes, it is, Runo. Easily.
Sorry?
With the prints from Hurley's red-handed recorder.
Ah.
If you compare the print that pictures Ginny and the next print from half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. Hooey, Mr. Prosecutor.
Calling on the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination. Of all times. Mouse equal best character in-game. S tier. All I wanted was to play Pokemon Scarlet as I wait the day I get Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. Now I gotta go back to Xenoblade so I can do the post-game before the final part of the DLC comes out. I'm sure you will make the time. If you really, really love it, you'll make the time. Plus, like, do you have to play it right away? Like, you don't have to. Games, there is no schedule that tells you have to play games before, you know, a certain date. Look at me playing games like a year later or even 10 years later, and I'm like, oh, I have no idea what this game is about. The print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Following this, the victim and the accused move into the storeroom. Wait for tomorrow, but the final part of the DLC comes next week. I mean, it's one of your favorite games, so I get it, but you gotta hold out for the possible sales. Exactly. Show gets it. The longer you wait until after a game is released, the more likely that game is going to go on sale and you can buy it for cheaper. But you'll still get, you would even get more enjoyment out of it if you bought it at a cheaper price. At least I would, because then I'd be like, wow, I got such a high quality game for so much cheaper, and then I can buy myself a hamburger too for the same amount of money? Bomb. Meanwhile, the Skulkin brothers entered the shop and summarily heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events. Tariant, hello, welcome in. Thank you for the toy bone. Good morning. Thank you for the save check. Wow, a game that we can actually save? Thank you. It's rare because usually we're playing Jump King. And your save checks do nothing. More of the guy who would spend lots of money, then save, then spend, then save. Yeah, no, I save. I like to save. I'm like a savings gal. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later, after the brothers' flight.
So this was taken after Hurley was shot then? As far as I can tell, nothing has been taken.
That does seem to be the case. I can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print. So, the brothers who looked like criminals told only one lie. They shot man, but they stole nothing. It would seem so, yes. Good. No, not good. Deku Deals. It tracks Switch game sales. Will show you how much money you saved in total buying on sales, and it's very rewarding. As long as you ignore the total cost of your games. I see. I see. I think in general, I've bought most of my Switch games on sale. I think the only game that I didn't buy on sale, so the 10 remaster I bought on sale. I got Child of Light and that was on sale. Oh, Theater Rhythm. I bought that when that came out because I really enjoyed the 3DS version of Theater Rhythm. So when Curtain Call came out, I was one of the first things I downloaded that night when it went, when it released. Animal Crossing I bought full price. I think because Action Production redeemed Xenoblade, I also purchased that full price because it wasn't on sale. I sail the 7 seas when it comes to purchasing the games. You know what? Totally up to you. I just think sometimes, especially like indie games, I would always buy just because, I mean, I used to also do that in middle school and high school when I didn't have the money. But I think now that I'm like a working adult, I can afford to like pay for my games. Because, you know, a lot of people work hard for it. Some games don't deserve, you know, the money that they get from people purchasing them. Games that I will not deign to mention here. But yeah, there are definitely games that like I would sail the 7 seas for. How are the jurors this incompetent? Then again, it's very hard to convince them. It is. They're very stuck in their ways. Usually play the game, and if I like it, I do eventually buy. That's a good mindset to have too. Like a try before you buy kind of option. Now, I know brothers have lied. I think it is very important to continue with trial. Okay, so he's saying innocent for now.
Yay! Well done, Runo. The balance is shifting.
The Shantae one, that was a complete coincidence. Yes, that one I did purchase on sale because you mentioned it was on sale and you did redeem it. We'll just have to find time to put it on the schedule because I do have 2 games like ahead of the Shantae one that you redeemed. Well, it's a start, I suppose. But there must be more in what these jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. And if I can do that, we just might turn the situation to our favor still.
Thank you, counsel. Continue with the summation examination. And kindly hand that new photographic print to the bailiff to be filed as evidence.
Oceany photograph has been entered into the court record. Okay. Print in the court record. I wonder if we can make use of that. It's from the same angle though, right? In Lake of Lies are many dead fish. We must find truth. Therefore, I say not guilty verdict. Okay, real quick. The photos I think of are the same angle though. So we can't, there's no way for us to see a stereoscope version, right? Like, I don't notice anything, do you guys? Okay, maybe we should just give it to the guy, because he did say 2 pictures, so... if we press... Said you were so behind on Game Redeem, but not really. Just 3 in queue, and 2 you're working on. Yeah, I don't know if I'll start Shantae action until I finish Xenoblade, actually. Because I do only want to play, like, a game from each person 1 at a time, so that people have time to put their redeems in. Because I know I stream a lot enough to, like, have people build up their points. Like Show, for example. Do you guys get the feeling so much time has passed? That's what I'm feeling. Is it spoiler to explain how the stereoscope can help? Like, the technical reason? I don't think so. Just saying the Shantae being on sales was coincidence. Yeah, no, I totally get that. Totally. 138k as of just now. What did you spend your points on? Didn't you say you had 150, like, last week? Can it really show up new clues, though? Don't know unless you try. How about this print here? Should do the trick, I think. Okay, so this one, and then... So this one, and then the second one is the second image. Because maybe it'll overlay... It will show differences in the image. If there is no difference, then it will not look stereoscopic. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. I said I was close to 150. Gotcha. Okay. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographic prints?
Of course I can.
I just imagine like a big nerd when I voice him, so I hope he sounds nerdy. No idea what game you want her to try. Oh, yeah, I think Show is still deciding. Very well then, I'd like you to demonstrate.
I'd be delighted to. Just give me 1 more print and I'll amaze you all.
This one.
Take that!
Alright, these 2 prints were both taken with the same camera in Windibanks on the night in question.
Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer. Do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle?
Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday. The left and right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in the positions of some objects. Then, when your brain merges the 2 images together, inside your head it notices the shift as if it were depth.
Yes, exactly. It's that small shift between certain objects in the 2 pictures that's really important.
So what happens if you use 2 photographs that are exactly the same then?
No, obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the scene 3-dimensionally, anyway. Oh, of course, now I see. I think the young girl has discovered the secret.
Oh god. I have! I hate that. Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me? I see they're explaining it. Yes, they did take us through a journey, but thank you for explaining it first off. I do know, but I was waiting for Goon to redeem because I know he has 100 as well, and he has not redeemed a game before, but it seems like he's got a lot going on. It hasn't been a stream for a while, so I will eventually redeem. Show, that is so sweet of you to wait for Goon to redeem. I'm sure when he's available, he'll be in. It can be useful for noticing that two images are exactly the same if nothing pops out. I totally get that. Okay, I understand now.
Have another look at these two photos from Hurley's camera, Runo. Go on.
Are you watching any anime? Oh, this season, my group of friends and I are watching Witch of Mercury, and apparently we're watching Oshinoko. And then in between, when we have free time, we're rewatching Princess Tutu because I love that anime. It's so good. I Hoshino Stan. It's so, what a trip, that first episode of Oshinoko. Very unexpected.
Can you see that there's a really obvious difference between them?
No, I cannot. Because I'm looking right now. I don't see a difference. Do you guys see a difference? Oh, you're right. Show is so fast. I was checking up to the book because I went from top down and I was like looking left and right and I'm like, well, the skull's the same, the doll's the same, the scale's the same, the dog picture is the same. But you're right, the lamp is broken. Of course there is. There are two people. No, you stupid. In the first and no people in the second. Time, good night. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. As always, have this tucked into bed. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. I'll see you later, Time. Bye. I thought it was movie because episode was 1 hour 15 minutes. It was such a long episode. I was like at the 1 hour mark and I was like, wow, has it really been an hour? I did a lot of spot the differences as a kid. Ah, I see.
Well, yes, you can see that straight away, but now try looking at the picture in 3 dimensions.
All right, I'll give it a go. So to start with, you have to cross your eyes and then try to make the two pictures overlap exactly. Let's see if by crossing my eyes I can make the quill pens from each picture overlap in the middle. Wait.
Well, did you manage to see it properly, Runo?
Time flies way too quickly for me. Even special episodes are max 50 minutes. Yeah, for most animes, they're like 1 hour max, but it was quite an interesting concept for an anime. And like, because it has the son as an actor, I remembered this old manga I was reading. Do you guys remember Skip Beat? I never finished reading Skip Beat, and I'm pretty sure by now that manga is like done, right? I think I should pick it up again. I just remember it being like really, really good. And like the romance between the main character and that like guy actor was also really good. Wait, what's going on with these two pictures? Some of the things on the counter sort of jump out at you. Oh, everything else has shifted. Oh, what the fuck? Everyone is looking!
Yes, that's it, you see. That's the other amazing power of stereoscopes.
Other amazing power? Is someone going to explain this black magic, eh? Why the deuce do some of the things on the counter seem to jump out at you like that,
I think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you'll answer your own question.
Basic principles of the stereoscope.
As I said before, if you try to look at two identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's the slight shift in the position.
Oh, it's not that those things stayed still, it's that those things moved. Because otherwise, everything would be blurry, right? So the things that are clear have a slight shift. Waiting for Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. Oh, so the lamp was not of concern. I mean, that was a big difference too, was the lamp got broken. But I guess it's not the concern here.
It's a slight shift in the positions of certain objects that lets you see pictures three-dimensionally.
In other words, even though at first glance it seems the objects on the counter haven't moved at all between the two pictures, this shows that actually there must have been a slight shift in their positions.
Yes, there must have been.
Now hold fire there, sir! Got a reasonable grasp of this whole cross-eyed business now, I'd say. But why the devil does a shift between the two prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you're the cross-eyed master. What, me? I haven't the first idea. Mappa Studios came with another shonen anime after Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen. It's Hell's Paradise. Oh, interesting. I'm not huge on shonen at all, so I don't really know what's going on in that world. I don't actually know much anime from the 90s, early 2000s, because there was a time I didn't watch for fear of bullying. I only know of Skip Beat in name, but not anything about it. I didn't watch it, I think I read it, but also true. Like, as a kid, I mean, at school, I think it was like okay-ish, but only because my high school had like 1,000 kids in each class, in each grade. So, we were able to form our cliques and we didn't really like, we were big enough to not get bullied. But I can see if you're from like a town that has like a smaller graduating class, how that could socially affect you. And now, like, I'm so mad that nowadays liking anime and being nerdy is like so cool. Like, apparently all the kids think it's so awesome if you're like smart in school and you're a nerd and like, sorry, my eyes are so itchy. Give me a second. I think I might need to take some Zyrtec. Hold on, give me a hot second. I'm gonna get up and get some allergy medication. Oh, my eyes are so itchy. Old animes had pacing issues too. I mean, they did, but in general, remakes of old animes nowadays stick to the key facts. Take your time. Thank you, Miso Head. Ugh, so itchy. Anyways, I can, but there are so many coming out. It's hard to watch everything. Truly, there's so many good ones. You of course have to have watched FMA Brotherhood though, right? Like that's the big one that everyone I think needs to watch. Yes, my sentiments exactly. Like on the one hand, I guess it's cool that so many people enjoy anime and manga now. But also, you motherfuckers were so mean to me growing up. Fuck you. Fucking all the Karens and the Chads of my generation. Fuck you guys. Now I'm anime, okay? Screw you. Like now even shonen are becoming shorter. Did shonen... Oh, I mean, I guess because of One Piece, Detective Conan and stuff, they're like super long series.
You know, Runo, it's quite simple.
It It is?
Just think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 a.m. Then, 30 minutes later, the second photograph was taken. But the position of some items on the counter appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means...
That means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter. I remember people used to say mean shit, saying you watch cartoons, you are such a kid. You know, I still think some of the older generation are like, why do you watch these cartoons? And it's like, well, some of these are not actually for children. Like, not all anime are made for children. They have very serious topics that deal with like mental health, or they could also just be very like gory, which aren't for children either. I have watched both FMA and FMAB. Controversial opinion. I don't think FMA was that bad. FMAB was better for sure, but I don't think FMA was the atrocity the internet says it is. You know, I tend to agree. Here's why I agree. I didn't like the ending of FMA, but I think what FMA did really, really well is the very start of the anime had the time to explore stories like Rose and Rose's Village, as well as like obviously Dr. Turner and his daughter. I thought in FMAB those stories were so short and like it wasn't given its like due on the screen time. And I think it's because of FMA. Like FMA existed already, and so they were kind of just building on what FMA didn't cover, which was kind of like the story of the homunculus and like obviously their father and stuff. Yeah, but I also share a similar opinion. There are coming seasons with one season, have 24 episodes, complete 2 arcs, rather than old shonen 150 episodes for 2 arcs. It's just so hard to change people's minds. Like the ones who say cartoons are for kids are also the ones who watch Family Guy and The Simpsons as a child. No one should be watching Family Guy and The Simpsons as a kid. That is also a very adult like cartoon series. Cartoons should not be used for children. Like the word cartoons should not automatically imply it's for children. I don't know. Like what is the root word for cartoons? FMA lost the track of the manga though. Yeah, at the end it did, but not at the beginning. Because they definitely had the material at the beginning. It's only because they started catching up to the source material that they like went and wrote their own ending. Zookers!
Someone tampered?
New information! Stop! Not mentioned in testimony so far! Stop! Yes, we've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems. But I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in this summation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom? Are you suggesting you might know? Of course. I can tell you right now who is responsible for the almost imperceptible shift in the items on the counter. Are we saying that it's one of the brothers? Or was it Pop? Who would shift the brothers, right?
Take that!
It's an association thing. The masses think cartoons equal Disney, fail to understand that animation is a medium, not a genre. Yeah, that makes sense. Personally read the manga rather than watch FMAB. FMAB was good. I enjoyed watching it. I don't think I've ever read the like Full Metal Alchemist manga. Oh my god, it's been like years, you guys, and I still remember the Japanese name of FMA because like the like middle cutscene, you know, where it like cuts out to commercial and cuts back in, it's Hagane no Renkin Jutsushi. I'm like 99% sure. Like that, those words together is just iconic for me. It was the witnesses currently in the stand, the Skulkin brothers. Wait! This does not agree with what brothers said in testimony before. They said they did not even have time to pull dukes from Lucy Lockets. My phrase book says dukes is meaning hens and Lucy Lockets is meaning pockets. No, the mouse! But is this another lie? Is this what you are saying? Yes, I'm afraid so.
Now hold on there a minute. You can't be sure of that.
I quite agree. The accused is a common pick purse, after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal. I think that's unlikely.
And why exactly?
As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicated, that she was coercing Mr. Windibank to open the storeroom door. In other words, Miss Lestrade's interest lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. The Skulkin brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony. But the accused is a pick purse. Common gutter trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here? Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madam. No better, in fact, worse than a pick purse. I believe that these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves?
Well said. I, for one, would like to hear more from that shady pair.
Oh my god. That's hilarious. Apparently, a lot of TikTok. Oh, thank you for the hydrate turret. Apparently, a lot of TikToks use the English versions of FMAB cut to commercial for jokes. The Full Metal Alchemist! Full Metal Alchemist. My little sister started quoting it, and I'm like, how the fuck do you know that? Also, many new shonen are literally coming with 13 episodes per season, so it's same length as Slice of Life. I think it's because nowadays most anime are very condensed. People have short attention spans. I'm just saying, like, we have, I mean, you can tell in media too, like from YouTube, like long form YouTube videos to now like TikToks, which are less than a minute, and YouTube shorts, which is also less than a minute. Like the common media consumer now, I think it's also like, this is a real thing in movies. They used to be able to do really long shots of scenes, and they would be able to keep like audience attention throughout the scene. But nowadays, most movies have a lot of cuts in between the same scene, and that's to keep like viewer interest high and engagement. We as a society have gone to a very short attention span, and I can see how that's reflected in things like the length of anime episodes or the length of an anime season, rather. Don't die, princess. It's okay, I'm not gonna die. An absolute travesty. Where is my beach episode? The beach! They usually do have a beach episode. Even with all the fluff cut out, the beach episode is classic show. They would never cut that out. It's like a trope at this point.
Can you all see now? I think you'll find stereoscopes aren't playthings. You've seen their extraordinary potential firsthand.
Even shonen anime has beach episodes now. Wholeheartedly agree. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. Will return home via Regent Street. Stop. Is she doing that thing through Morse code? Is that what she's doing? The telegram?
Well, it would seem this trial has yet to run its course. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. I hereby call this summation examination to conclusion, with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean guilty, 4 lean not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus, and I order this trial to continue.
Yay, well done! Oh, by the way,
What?
you should hold on to this, Bruno. You never know when it might come in useful.
Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely, but alright. Anime is so mature and adult. You can't cut the beach episode! Of course not. Not talking about adult animes. It's for 15 to 17, you can say. I mean, a beach episode could be serious. Like in, fucking, Wotakoi. They had a beach episode, and I think it was to further the romance plot. It was quite interesting. I enjoyed. Wotakoi was also a really good anime. All the anime that I've watched are like really like old at this point. I'm such a boomer.
Lord Van Zeeks, you will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them.
I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. Bouquet? The bouquet. Bouquet. How do you say? Is it bouquet or bouquet? Like boo, like ghost boo, or is it bow, like a ribbon bow? Even in summertime, rendering the beach episode was serious, I guess. Are you though? I don't know. Dude, my eyes are so itchy. What the heck? Sorry, hold on. Oh, you know what? I think the pre-rolls fell off. I'm gonna run an ad. I'm gonna go splash my face. I think that's what I need right now. My eyes are really, really itchy. I'm just gonna run the ad and step away. I'm not even gonna do a BRB screen because it's gonna take like 10 seconds, okay? I also checked my eyes. There's no eyelashes, so I don't know why it's so, like, irritated. We say, like, ghost. Oh, bouquet. Aloha. Hello, Chippy. Welcome in. Sorry, I stepped away for just a little bit. Bouquet. But there's probably more than one pronunciation. Oh, save check. Must be allergic to dogs. Absolutely not. I would never be allergic to dogs. A screw, I think, might go back to Xenoblade 3 in the future. Just want to do more Pokemon Scarlet. Of course, you know, it's your own game. You decide the pacing. Thank you for the save check, Turrent. Because some people say bouquet, right? Like a bouquet of flowers? Bouquet? Bouquet. A bouquet. Bouquet. I don't know. English is weird, y'all. I won't stop probing them until I've proven that GINA is innocent. Oh, nice. To be continued. Okay, so let's save. A commotion in the courtroom.
Order, please. Let us resume proceedings.
Bouquet is French. So what is the correct way? Boo? Bow. Boo or bow? Do a good job in Scarlet. Beat one gym leader, complete one exploration with Arvin. Got some Pokemon collecting to do. Might be the first Pokemon game. Consider catching them all for their art book. Oh, that's good. That's cute. Glad that the game is convincing you to try, you know, new achievement hunting that you have never done before.
Order, let us resume proceedings. Witnesses, you will now retake the stand.
Sweating bullets.
I presume
Their faces are so funny.
you heard the defense counsel's summation examination.
Oh, yeah, Governor. I did, Gov. I did.
Mr. and Mr. Skulkin.
Or blimey!
This is going to be hard work. Earlier in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windibanks.
Well, it was bedlam soon as, weren't it?
It was, Nash. It was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out with Lucy Lockets.
American is beau, British is boo, according to the internet. Wow, so are you saying we are all British? The bouquet. However, that was a lie. Your brothers. You brothers.
Cor, blimey!
On the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter.
We never done nothing o' the sort.
How'd you figure that out?
Are you back again, or you didn't win? I did go for a very short amount of time. I mean, I splashed my eyes with water to try to rinse out whatever was irritating it. And I also checked in the mirror to see if I had like an eyelash or something, but I don't. So now I'm just waiting for the allergy medication to like just like kick in so that my eyes stop itching.
You will now give formal testimony once again. You will tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question. And this time, you will tell the truth.
Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. Itchy eyes hope. Itchy eyes suck. I hope the meds work. Me too. Thank you so much, Miso Head. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. A thought worth pondering. Perhaps.
Say no more, Gov, we hear ya.
We'll blab, we'll squeak, we'll peach.
Illegal entry. The whole truth.
Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. It was when we heard the gunshot, see? Made us both jump and all that stuff went flying. Lummy, it didn't have give me a fright. We was thinking the shooter'd come out the door and get us next. We stuck everything back where we found it and scarpered. Straight into him in the black.
We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we?
I love how poor Apple there is barely visible because of the dialogue box. It's literally like his eyes and his nose. It's so funny.
So you admit to the defense's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Windibank's countertop on the night in question. Not ransack, Governor, no.
That's right, Nash. That's right. It's more like we tidied up. Yeah. Sorry.
By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess.
The way you say it, we hardly sound like roughs at all. We don't, Nash. We don't. Can't thee make us sound a bit more cutthroat?
It can't just be coincidence that these men showed up at Windibank's last night. There's more to their testimony than meets the eye, I'm sure of it. So impressed by how Ace Attorney witnesses can lie on the spot, and when you catch them in a lie, they can just make shit up on the spot. I could never. I crack under pressure. Very true. I am definitely like a crack under pressure kind of person as well. They need to give him a crate to stand on. An apple crate. Gonna go take a shower. Have a good shower action. Same. Alright, let's press. Did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing.
Hold it!
If that's the case, then why didn't you testify to that effect in the first place?
Well, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we? We ain't, Nash. We ain't. If we admitted to something like that, people would think we was up to no good.
Well said, Ringo, me old China. We'd only land ourselves in even more trouble. And in fact, now, as a result of lying in your previous testimony, that's exactly what you've done. Landed yourselves in more trouble.
That's rotten luck.
Says the rotten apple eater. Witnesses, explain your actions to the court. Why did you ransack the victim's counter? Plus, they say unbelievable shit too. They do.
We never ransacked nothing. Right, Nash, right. More like we tidied the place up. Sorry. It was when we earned the gunshot, so he made us both jump and all that stuff went flying.
So what you're saying is, the sound of the gunshot shocked you so much, you knocked all those things off the counter. Well, it shocked one of us that much, yeah. This bag of nerves needs to learn to keep his shirt on.
Look, it was loud, alright? Blimey, me dead granny would have woken up with that bang.
Big bruv ear screamed like a bloomin' baby and fell over on the counter. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot.
That got tangled up in some marionette what knocked over a picture frame what knocked them scales on the floor.
The picture frame is not true because... Did we have a copy? Or is it? Was the picture frame part of what was clear? I don't remember. Alright, I don't remember. It's fine. I wonder if Ringo's mustache is meant to look like apple seeds? Oh! That's funny. That's actually, you know, maybe? That's so funny. You've really mastered working quietly then.
What a racket. Me granny would have been scared back into her grave at a clatter like that.
So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise.
And then some. I mean, it was quiet as a mouse, and then all of a sudden, bam!
Pursue. Maybe Appleseed stuck into his nose. Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add?
Like I keep saying, I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels.
No, something to add about their testimony. You seemed to react just now at what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something?
It's probably nothing, of course. It wouldn't even bother to mention it, only... Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details.
How about you just tell us what's on your mind?
As you know, we brought these fellows into the yard for questioning last night, and the statement they gave then told a slightly different story to what they're saying now. Well, did it? You claimed you heard the victim shout something out before the gunshot.
Might have, Gov. Might have. Does ring a bell now you mention it.
Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still. I can't help feeling like perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony here. Eh, fellas? If I discovered the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven to be, I shall be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Easy, easy.
We'll get it right this time.
That's it. Yep, it's all coming back to me now. Then speak! Supplement your testimony with whatever details you have miraculously returned to your questionable minds, sirs.
Right you are, Gov. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun!"
Okay, hold on. Oh. Did we press that statement? I think we pressed this, yeah?
Hold it!
So, in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously.
We did, Gov, we did.
Although I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yell and all.
If you don't want to get shot.
Give me that gun. Bam!
Kind of thing.
A career in acting tragically missed. Your Ringo voice is adorable. Oh, I'm glad you think so. I just think of him as this very, like, sleazy, like, short guy who's, like, you know, you can find him in an alleyway being all sleazy. And where were the voices coming from? Could you tell?
Of course we could. From the other side of that door behind the counter it was.
From the storeroom where the victim was found dead.
And the voice you heard, it was that of the victim, Mr. Windibank.
On me granny's life. Course it was.
It's funny because that's how I saw him, but your voice is making him sound cuter.
On his granny's life, course it was.
On Ringo's grandmother's life. All right. MT, hello, how are you? Welcome in. Good evening. So that would mean that you both knew Mr. Windibank and the sound of his voice.
Huh? So that would mean what?
What, Nash? What? Any ideas?
Yes, Counsel, indeed it would. Nah, we didn't know the geezer.
How am I supposed to deny it when that bloke in all the fancy clobbers giving us the evil eye?
If you value your lives, you will ensure your testimony is accurate and true.
On me granny's life it is.
On his granny's life, it must be.
It's a good job his granny's dead.
To summarize then, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then heard the gunshot.
causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them over the shop floor.
Yeah, make it sound like we're clumsy.
Don't forget, we tidied up after like good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it.
So Granny's life doesn't matter.
The bloke what owned the place was holding a gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl.
How did they see that? Because the door to the storeroom was closed at the scene of the crime. Press on this. You're saying that Mr. Windibank. Oh, Beetle Ian, thank you so much for the resubscribe. It's been 3 months. I can't believe you've been here for 3 months. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. These voices, I'm glad you're enjoying the voice acting. The very scuff voice acting. You're saying that Mr. Windibank had a gun in his hands.
Oh yeah, bet that was a sight, eh? Them two waving them guns at each other. 2 guns?
Must've got pretty heated.
I mean, just before you shouted out, we heard the geezer say, if you don't want to get shot.
Didn't really sound like you meant it, mind. More of an empty threat, you could say.
Mr. Windibank was known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. That someone being himself, of course.
Good grief, extraordinary devotion! Indeed, if alarmingly misguided. Well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only the person he was gonna shoot beat him to it, cooked his goose proper!
Bet he wish he'd squeeze the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, "Give me that gun!"
It was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot.
It was more or less at the same time, Gov. Give me that gun! Bam!
Kind of thing.
Yes, a career in acting very tragically missed.
Then we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck before everything went dead quiet.
After that, we done a slapdash job tidying the place up.
Lummy, it didn't give aff. It didn't aff give me a fright. We was thinking the shooter'd come out the door and get us next. So, you didn't try to open the storeroom door then? Not on your life! Oops, wrong button.
It went deathly quiet after that, it did. Put the wind right up me. But anyway, the door was locked, weren't it? No way that was opening.
Yes, of course, it was locked from the inside, or so we've been led to believe.
It was, Gov. It was from the inside.
Right, so we had no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we?
Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the storeroom. Like through the keyhole, or a spy hole, perhaps.
Don't ring no bells, no light, don't light no lights!
We had to cut and run before we noticed anything like that.
We're still cutting our teeth in this game, see? But one day...
we'll really cut the mustard.
Please cut it out. But as we know, behind that door was the victim's lifeless body with the accused, not 2 feet away. Yes, unfortunately. Gina was in there unconscious, with the gun in her hand. To confirm, would it be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom?
That's right, Gov. That's right.
Couldn't have, even if we wanted to. Anyway, Beetle Ian, I hope your day has been going well. Sorry, I was like really into this section here. But I have some time to breathe, drink some water. I hope you've had a good Tuesday.
We stuck everything back where we found it in Scarborough, straight into him in the black.
Hold it!
Yes, whereupon you fired a shot from your own gun at Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Oh, yeah, we was a bit hasty there.
We was, Nash, we was. Truth be told, I was already shaking like a leaf when you lot turned up. If you're shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your hand. Good advice, miss. Good advice. Truth be told, me mind went totally blank. Before your mind goes totally blank, make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your hand. Mental note made, miss. After that, we legged it down the street, but Clayton says, I am a walrus flying through the open sea. Freedom is whatever I make of it. Bananas on a Wednesday and no one to stop me. Bathing on a hot rock on a Monday as I please.
Sometimes you just need to be and not just exist. Hi, Clayton. Sorry. That was a really funny message to read that voice in. Hi, Clayton. I hope you've been having a good day. Thank you so much for the resubscribe. At 14 months, I appreciate you. Clipped and shit. I hope you've been having a good Tuesday. Welcome, welcome.
Apparently, we looked dodgy to the coppers or something, so they clapped the darbies on us like winking.
And after you'd been handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession. Correct?
Well, yeah.
But listen, that proves it, doesn't it? Eh?
We couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, see? We never even had a chance, did we?
Hold it!
And why should we believe that?
Huh? What? Well, 'cause it's true, innit?
The place was totally empty when we went in.
At that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused, who had a gun to his head. In other words, on the night in question, these two witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbrokery, Mr. Windibank. Correct? Oh. Thank you for the clip, Clayton. Happy Tuesday.
You got it, mister.
Down to a T.
So the Skulkin brothers never actually encountered Mr. Windibank. Is that really true, I wonder? That's it? That's the full extent of their testimony?
What is it, Runo? You look very fierce. I could pour you some herbal tea if you're tired.
Oh, thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, you'll probably laugh, but I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something. Something important. It is nothing more than a feeling, though. I have no proof to support it.
Well, feelings can be very logical at times.
Sorry?
People's expressions, the movements of their eyes, the words they choose. You can take all that in and your brain will quietly analyze it to come up with a feeling, like you described. You've concluded that there's something suspicious about this testimony without knowing why. That's all. I think you should trust your instincts.
Iris, thank you. Sometimes I think if she's 10 years old, I must be 5. All right. Okay, so... Hold on. Okay, so Riflin, knock things over. Hold on. Heard a voice yelling, "Give me that gun." What if who owned the place was holding a gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. Why can they see that he was holding a gun? I don't know that I have evidence to present here. How did they know? How did Nash know? At this point, holding a gun, so he should have fired instead at the yelling girl. The shooter would come out the door and get us next. Scarpered. Couldn't have shot the pawnbroker. Okay, so, I mean, at this point, they are already in the back storeroom. If I present the image of the storeroom closed, like the door is closed, then... Right? Then it would prove... Hold on, let's just... let's do a save here. Welcome back, Action. I hope you had a good shower. I'm trying to figure out what evidence to present. I think it would be this photo, the second one. Yes, this one. So let's present this.
Objection.
Damn it.
That reveals a damning inconsistency, that last statement.
Damning, you say? As I look at you, Counsel, I see your trembling hand, your pallid expression, and your perspiring brow. Seems to me that is the damning inconsistency here, with that misplaced confidence of your assertion. Okay, hold on, let's load. Okay, so that image doesn't work. How do we prove that the door was closed? Is it this one? Because, I mean, clearly they wouldn't have been able to see it because it was closed. Pawnbroker, single bullet wound, instant death, nothing about the scene. Oh, it shows relative positions of the main shop and the rear storeroom. That's not it either. After the murder, before the murder. Oh, you can see in the little image that there's a slight shift in some of the items. Interesting. How can I prove that the door was open so they could, like, cause if the door was closed, he wouldn't have seen Pop holding the gun. We pressed the statement, right? Let me just press again, hold on. Had a gun in his hands. Two waving guns at each other. Heard the geezer say, if you don't want to get shot, more of an empty threat. Kept a revolver. Being himself. Like he was ready to pull the trigger, only the person he was gonna shoot beat him to it. Squeeze the trigger instead of wasting his time. Give me that gun, bam. Kind of thing. The sound of someone hitting the deck. So that was Pop dropping before everything went quiet. They tidied up the place and then they left. Now I think you can show the crime scene pic. Crime scene picture. On this one? Which crime scene photo? This one or this one? Because I already pressed them because I read the same stuff, so I pressed them already on that. How does he know that he was holding a gun? Not sure. I'm also not sure. So they didn't open the door. How did they know it was locked? How did they know? They must have tried it. So they're saying they didn't notice the window. Do I present on this? Do I have to present on this one? Gun in her hand. Okay. Does he know or is he still lying? I honestly can't remember despite playing before. Here's the thing. I don't know if he's lying about having seen it or if he's telling the truth. Hold on. What if I go all the way through? Is Iris just gonna tell me about the feeling thing? Let's see here. That's it? That's the full extent of their testimony? You look very fierce. T. The brothers are hiding something. No proof. Feelings are logical. Because we're absorbing everything and our brain is analyzing it. Something suspicious about this testimony without knowing why, that's all. I think you should trust your instincts. I think she's 10 years old. I must be 5. Is there anything related to the guns? Well, so the guns were only fired once, which... This was the gun that GINA was holding. And it's assumed that it was used to shoot Pop. And it was fired once. And this is the gun that the brothers were using and also was shot only once. But this shot it hit Schultz. So, do we present the guns? Holding a gun. So he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. Do we present the gun here? Because if he was holding a gun and she was holding a gun, how are there 3 guns? That's not it either. Okay. That's not it. Okay, we're just gonna keep going until we guess it right. And then I'll restart. How does he know? I don't understand. How does he know that that Pop was holding a gun? This just is the redemption ticket. Paperwork to defend GINA. Different blood profiles. That's 1 gunshot. This is a 2nd gunshot. Where did the 3rd gun go? This also is not related to this line of questioning. So we have this, which is the autopsy. When in doubt, save excessively so we get many chances. Wish we were smarter. I know. I'm like definitely guessing here. I'm so full. What did you eat, Chrono? Welcome back. I wonder if he didn't actually see it and that's creating an inconsistency somewhere. But I presented the photo with the closed window and it didn't contradict anything, so... Okay, hold on. Yum Cha. Is that like a dim sum place? Yum. Is it this? It's not the gun. We know that. We didn't observe this one yet. Okay.
You have to pop your 2 prints in here to start with, you see.
And then when you look through the eyepieces, you can see the image in 3 dimensions.
The important thing to get right is the position of the 2 prints.
I don't know who came up with the idea of a stereoscope, but it's really quite fascinating. Oh, okay, so we can't look at the image ourselves, or maybe we can open it? Okay, it pops open. Oh, look at that, it's totally changed shape just from one little button press.
Well, that is what the button's for, Runo. You're just like Hurley. You boys love pressing buttons, don't you? Especially if you don't know what they do.
Us boys. Says the 10-year-old girl.
Anyway, now you can see that it really is a stereoscope, can't you?
Dim sum stuff. Oh, that sounds delicious. I want dim sum. It's been a really long time since I've had dim sum, I think.
You have to pop your 2 prints in here to start with, you see.
And then when you look through the eyepieces, you can see the image in 3 dimensions.
The important thing is to get right is the position of the 2 prints.
Okay, so can we not load images here? I guess not. Does their story make sense with him being shot from the back? Again, I honestly forgot the answer, so I'm not trying to spoil. No, it's not a problem. I'm also trying to figure it out. Okay, so he should have fired instead of yelling at the girl. Thinking the shooter come out the door and get us next. Give me that gun. Okay, let me present... Should we present the crime scene photograph or the autopsy report? Instant death, bullet entered the body from the back. It would be really weird if you were talking to someone and yelling at them and your back was turned to them, right? Is that what we're trying to get to? Weren't both facing each other in the first pic? Yeah, in like the flashback. Sounds like they're saying he got shot while facing her. I know, right? Okay, so what if we then present this?
Objection!
No, that's not it either. Where is the inconsistency? Holding a gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl. Thinking the shooter'd come out the door and get us next. Stuck everything back where we found it, scarpered straight into him in the black. Couldn't have shot the pawnbroker, we never even had a chance. Heard a voice yelling out, give me that gun. Love how I'm still wrong after playing this and watching at least one other streamer playing this. It surprises you every time, I think. You have the right idea, just the wrong evidence. The right idea. What piece of evidence? So, okay, I've done this. What about, is it this? This is 2 bodies. What about this? It doesn't show... Oh, wait. If he was holding a gun when he got shot, wouldn't the gun be in the picture?
Objection!
Ah. Okay. 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 Let's roll that back. Okay. So...
Objection!
Okay, here we go. So you're saying... Because then that would mean that there's 3 guns that night. Mr. Windibank had a gun, GINA had a gun, and the Skulkin brothers had a gun. But that last gun has mysteriously gone missing, the one that Mr. Windibank had, right? So, okay, I get it. But, like, also, couldn't it have been just that, like, the image didn't have a picture of the gun in the crime scene photograph? Like, that happens. If, like, the gun flung out of his hands or something, right? That's kind of dumb. On the night in question, the victim, Mr. Winterbank, was wielding a gun. Is that correct? That's it, Gov. You've got the picture.
Yes, Nash, yes, no question.
And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Winterbank was not holding a firearm of any description. Or what if someone took the gun? Yeah, true. Someone could have taken the gun and fired. Well, we know that both guns in evidence were shot once. So what about that third gun? Was it also shot? Don't fight the game logic. We solved it. I'm upset because they should have also taken the picture of the crime scene at 1:30 because that showed that the window was closed. So how could they have seen into prove that Mr. Winterbank had a gun? Like, it's a weird thing to say, right?
You what?
Gordon Bennett, that ain't right!
Objection!
There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in that incident. I would remind the court that Mr. Winterbank's gun was found at the scene. Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hands. Yeah, that mall tooler used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me that gun.
Bam! Kind of
Hold
thing.
it!
There's a reason why that's not the answer now. That window becomes important later. God damn it. The game can't recognize two pieces of evidence in the same photograph, I guess. It just makes too much sense, okay? Say exactly where you are. Right there. If that crime had taken place as you've so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moment you just acted out.
Goodness, are you sure, counsel?
You intrigue me, my learned friend, but let's see some evidence to support your claim. Where's the proof that demonstrates— Oh god, no! I didn't save! I didn't save! Wait. What was the question? Oh, okay. So they were facing each other. Give me that gun, bam, kind of thing. Stay exactly where you are, right there. So he means their body positions. If the crime had taken place as you've so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency, which is the autopsy report that says that Pop was shot in the back. So he would have been turned around. Yes, this is the evidence.
Take that!
Time check. Oh, I think this is what I was thinking of earlier. Oh, time check. I think we're good. Let's just finish out, I think, this bit of cross-examination, but thank you for the time check turn. I really appreciate it. According to their testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shout of, "Give me that gun," followed by the gunshot. Indeed, with the two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe. Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy report, it clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. Ah. So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. Yeah! And yet objecting to that did nothing. Let's do save real quick before we're forced to make another decision that I cannot back myself out of.
But it's the God's honest truth!
It is, Nash, it is! When we was shot that night.
The shopkeeper had a gun in his hand! We saw it with our own bleeding eyes!
Wait, how did you see it? Did I hear you right just now? You actually saw Mr. Winterbank holding a gun. Got him! Oh, he does have a crate. He's just so tiny it doesn't help.
Summit like that must have slipped out.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses. I fucking knew it! That window was really important. That on the night in question, they actually saw with their own eyes the victim wielding a gun. Which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Smokin brothers must have encountered the victim in person.
Nash,
He's so small compared to his brother.
Order! 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 Witnesses, explain yourselves at once!
Well,
The thing is, we're supposed to,
It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I love how Ringo's cheeks jiggle when he moves. His cheeks are so round and fat, and I love it so much. I made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of you. Am I to understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies?
ever so sorry, Governor. Truth is, see, we,
cut it out, Nash. Cut it out. If we blab now, you know what'll do to us.
He? Who are they talking about? Let me make your position here perfectly clear. You will talk. There is no other option available to you. Damn, Van Zeeks, lay down the fucking law! We need these guys to tell us the truth so we can, you know, acquit GINA of this stupid crime that she didn't do. She absolutely did not do it.
Buff, come on, the game's up!
But he'll have our guts for garters.
In case it hasn't quite sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out.
On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place. Well...
Do we have to?
On pain of death, damn Van Zeeks, I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth. Okay, so let's just go through this cross-examination real quick, and then we'll review this next week as well. But I just want to see what their testimony is going to be. The fact that I love to play AA games curled up in bed and I'm sometimes half asleep really adds to their replay value, since I apparently forget so much. Oh my gosh, Turn, you're right. Let's save. Thank you. It's you know, sometimes you forget what the evidence is, and you're like, you know, presenting all the evidence to each statement, and you're like, which one is the right one? And then once you get past it, you've already forgotten. Surely that hasn't happened to me before.
Alright, so we just got inside the gaff and heaved a sigh of relief when the geezer showed his mug.
Give me that gun, he bellowed, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we'd had it.
For I know a geezer, the bloke was strong as an ox. He chucked me over the counter.
I pulled me gun on him, and Then he legged it through that door into the back room.
We never had nothing to do with killing him. That's all what happened, I swear.
I wonder if they're wearing bandit masks or that's just how their faces are. I would think it's funnier to just think that's how their faces are, all like raccoon painted. No, it hasn't, but you have misread words. I have misread words show because I did a micro sleep. There was micro sleeps happening during stream, and then I said words like ignorance and children, and I'm like, that's not the right word. I love their the idea of their faces just inexplicably being like that. Any update on the CPAP? No, I haven't heard from the medical device company. And I double checked my like there's a portal online that I can use for my health records. And like 100% the doctor who called me did say that we were waiting on the medical device company at this point. Cuz he put it in his notes too that like me, the patient princess, would be waiting for the device to be approved. So I don't really know. I talked to my coworker and she said that like maybe in 2 weeks, like from the appointment of the sleep study to when she got approved for her CPAP, it took 2 weeks. And so I think I just have to wait maybe like 1 more week or end of this week. If not, I'll call insurance just to double check, but it is frustrating. So, now you're telling us that moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop.
Well, yes, sorry. Well, we find ourselves at an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably. But honest, Governor, this time,
Nash, this time, we ain't got nothing more to hide.
very well, counsel for the defense, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. Alright, so we're going to review this. Is sleep apnea that prevalent? My old boss also had it. I think it is quite, like, if you snore, and you feel fatigued during the day, you should probably do, like, some kind of sleep study. On average, I think you stop breathing about 2 to 5 times a night, and that's average. If it's less than that, like, if it's about that range, you don't have to worry. But if it's more, then yeah, there is a concern. Why is there so much leniency for perjury? It's really common and it often goes undiagnosed. Yeah, like, I think most people don't think of it as a huge thing because I guess it's like maybe it's mild in their situation. But for me, I can tell it's heavily affecting my quality of life at this point at my age. I shouldn't be feeling like this at this age. Anecdotally, a lot of people. Yeah, I've heard, like, it's really weird because, like, also at this point in my life, I've, you know, heard from coworkers and from my family too that have been diagnosed with sleep apnea. So I also have a lot of people who around me have been diagnosed with sleep apnea. So maybe it's just confirmation bias that I think a lot of people have it. But also, there are other factors that people have said. It's not just like the typical like old age or weight gain that causes sleep apnea. They're finding in more recent studies that sleep apnea is also like genetic. It has to do with, you know, like the way your like maybe throat muscles are, you know, and certain like sizes of like your tongue or your jaw or something, like all of that is genetic, right? And it could be affecting your quality of sleep. So okay, we're gonna save here and we're gonna head back to our just chatting screen. over here. Um, yes, I am a boomer. Anecdotally, a lot of people feel worse with more than 2 apneas an hour, and I believe there's some research supporting this now too. Yeah, just literally everyone. Just go get checked. It never hurts. Like, if you have insurance, because I will admit, I think the sleep study I got billed like $500 for the visit, but because I had insurance, it only came out to $50. So, one, if you have insurance and if you can afford it, because I know access to healthcare sometimes is not always super great for a lot of people, but it really doesn't hurt, because here's the biggest thing: sleep apnea means you're like literally starving your brain at night. Your brain is losing out on oxygen because you're not breathing. And over time, like, it may not be a huge effect night by night, but over time that does like starve your brain of oxygen. And you could start to see like issues with your brain later on in life, because it's cumulative, right? Like, it's not like your brain cells can just heal, because I think brain cells are one of the like slowest repairing cells in your entire body, like if at all. So you're starving your body and your brain of oxygen. Weight gain can be a vicious cycle too. Many reasons why apnea can cause weight gain. My doctor said that she has a lot of patients who lose weight on CPAP but still had apnea because the weight was a side effect, not the reason. Yeah, because like also like, you know, you gain weight, you have sleep apnea, you constantly feel fatigued, so you don't feel like you want to do anything during the day. All you want to do is sleep because your body is missing out on sleep. And then it just rinses and repeats. So, I mean, even with the CPAP, right? Like your doctor said, they've lost weight, but they still feel tired. So like, imagine if, you know, they didn't have the CPAP and they didn't have the motivation or the energy to work out. Like, it's just really, really bad. I don't mean to scare you, Turrent. You know, your life if you choose to, you know, do a sleep study, but it is something to look into, because I did my sleep study and I got fitted with CPAP that same night to like test what the pressure would be if I were to use one. And like immediately the next day, I could super tell that I just felt super well rested. I had so much energy. Like, you think I have a lot of energy now? That one day that I was able to sleep well, I was like honestly all over the place. Definitely there's a question of whether the brain damage from apnea ever gets better once treated. So glad I got diagnosed young. Yes, which is why my sister also pushed me. She was like, Princess, you're still so young. You know, get treated now so that it's like preventative, you know, because you don't want to have to look for a cure later, so prevent it now. Which is why I started taking it more seriously. Because I'm a sister. She loves me and I love her. All right, you guys. Okay, so who can we raid? I'm glad, because she got diagnosed before me, so she was able to pass on that knowledge. Okay, so we have Alex, which we haven't seen him in a while. We do also have Skyen. He's playing Omori, which I think I heard from you guys is psychological horror, which I don't know if I want to see. It is Lana Kane's 1-year anniversary, and she is doing kind of like a special event, so it might be nice to go say hi to Lana. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Let's go celebrate. Apnea can have serious effects if you don't deal with it. I know. All right, you guys. We're gonna go hang out with Lana. We're gonna say hello. If you have a subscription, you are welcome to copy that raid message and follow us through on the raid. If not, if you don't have a subscription, you're still welcome to join us. Just copy the global Twitch TV emotes instead. I'm gonna give Lana a shout out. in case Twitch drops us and you don't get taken to the next raid. This happened to me like this weekend where I was in a stream and I didn't get pulled along to the raid. So I'm just gonna give her a shout out right now so she can see also that we're coming. And I wanted to say thank you to Tanuki Taz for the follow. Thank you to Beetle Ian for the resubscribe 3 months. And then thank you for Clayton for the resubscribe at 14 months. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for hanging out here as well. Misohead, thank you so much for like being here this entire stream and having such a great conversation. I really enjoyed it. Action Production, thanks for being here. Thanks for staying all stream as well. I super appreciate you. Thank you to Bishop, you came in early, and then I think you were here. Show, thank you. Current, Chrono, sorry. I was like Current. I mixed Chrono's name and Turin's name. But thank you, Turrent and Chrono. Thank you to Taster for coming by. See you next week, my little niece. Thank you to Martine, if you're still here. I appreciate you. And Avendior as well, I think, was here. MT stopped by. And I think that... Oh, Sev also. I think I got everyone. I'm sorry if I missed your name. I do apologize. I really appreciate you guys. Just talking with others while here. Of course, you are, you know, no problem at all. I know we get busy with life, so I don't, you know, fault you for that. Sev, I'm here! Thanks, Sev and Sev's partner. As always, you guys, please be happy, please be healthy, but most of all, please be kind. You never know what a smile, hug, or hello can do for someone who's having a bad day, because, you know, you don't know. And they might be having a shit day, and you should probably treat others with respect. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves, you know, stay hydrated, get up, stretch your legs, get that blood pumping because we don't want a blood clot. And I think Lana looks like she might be heading to a BRB, so I'm just gonna raid now. I love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll let you know if I am streaming. Check the Discord. I will see you all later. Good night, my puppies. I love you. Bye.